Most gardeners treat free cardboard as a quick, easy fix for soil health. They think that laying it down will instantly enrich the ground, suppress weeds, and feed worms. That's a mistake. If you've used cardboard in your garden and wondered why your soil doesn't improve as fast as expected, you're not alone. The reality is that cardboard feeds soil differently than compost. It works slower, but deeper, and the results are far more lasting. I've tested this across raised beds, backyard plots, and even in hydroponic-adjacent soil amendments, and the difference is significant. If you're serious about creating living soil that thrives year after year, stick with me. And if you want more practical field-tested insights like this, subscribe to Farm Logic now so you don't miss the hands-on strategies I share. Cardboard doesn't act like compost, and that's a good thing. One of the biggest misconceptions is that cardboard should feed soil quickly like compost. Free cardboard is largely carbon-based, with very little nitrogen. When it's added to a garden, it doesn't break down instantly. Compost is nutrient-dense, but it doesn't always encourage worms to burrow deeper. Cardboard, being carbon-heavy, provides both food and structure for soil organisms. Over the course of a few weeks, I've seen beds that were completely worm-free become alive with soil activity just from adding cardboard. In one clay bed, laying down 6 layers of cardboard and keeping it moist led to hundreds of worms appearing within 2 weeks. They started incorporating the cardboard into the soil, slowly creating aeration channels and mixing in smaller bits of organic matter from the surrounding environment. This deeper soil feeding is what compost alone rarely achieves in dense soils. Many gardeners make the mistake of either using cardboard that's too thick or too thin. Too thin, and decomposition is rapid, mostly at the surface, which doesn't create deep structure. Too thick, and the center stays dry or suffocates microbes, slowing down the process significantly. I found that a moderate layer, roughly 1/2 inch to 1 inch of cardboard sheets, works best. Overlapping edges and moistening properly ensures consistent decomposition and worm activity. For larger plots, I work in strips or sections, rotating beds so the soil underneath has time to absorb the cardboard without leaving bare patches. While cardboard feeds soil slowly and deeply, pairing it with smaller amounts of compost or manure can really kickstart microbial activity without compromising the structural benefits. I usually add a thin layer of compost, roughly 1/4 inch, on top of the moist cardboard before mulching. This honestly jumpstarts microbial populations that will eventually break down the cardboard from the surface down. In hydroponic-adjacent soil amendments, the same principle applies. Fiber-rich layers break down gradually, feeding the medium over time rather than all at once. The result is a living, structured substrate that supports roots more effectively than a single compost-heavy layer. It's important to recognize that cardboard is not a fast fix. Gardeners expecting immediate nutrient boosts will be disappointed. What cardboard provides is long-term soil improvement, improved aeration, water retention, and a thriving worm population. Compost is still valuable, but relying solely on it leaves structural issues unresolved. When I transitioned my clay beds from compost-only applications to layered cardboard systems, I noticed that plants were healthier within the season, even though nutrient levels weren't drastically higher at the start. The difference was in root depth, soil porosity, and consistent moisture availability. For a standard 4x8 raised bed, I typically start by clearing weeds and loosening the surface with a fork. I then lay 4 to 6 flattened cardboard sheets, overlap edges by a couple of inches, and moisten thoroughly. A 1/2 inch layer of compost can be sprinkled on top, followed by straw or wood chip mulch to retain moisture. In clay soil, worms will gradually move down into the bed, creating channels and integrating the cardboard into the soil matrix. Beds that used to stay hard and compacted are noticeably softer within weeks, and by the second season, the soil is rich, friable, and alive, something I rarely achieved with compost alone. The key takeaway is that slow feeding is deep feeding. Cardboard provides long-term improvement rather than quick surface-level gains. It transforms heavy or compacted soil, attracts worms, and promotes consistent aeration and drainage. When combined with small amounts of compost and proper moisture management, it becomes an essential tool for anyone serious about living soil. In my experience, free cardboard isn't just a convenient resource. It's often more effective than compost for structural improvement, particularly in clay and compacted soils. If you want soil that thrives season after season, don't just chase quick fixes with compost. Use cardboard strategically, keep it moist, encourage worms, and understand that slow feeding produces deep, lasting results. This approach works in backyard plots, raised beds, and even soil-adjacent hydroponic systems. By shifting your focus from immediate nutrient availability to long-term soil structure, you'll see better root growth, healthier plants, and more productive beds. Subscribe to the Farm Logic channel for more practical, experience-driven advice, and share this video with other gardeners who want to see real improvements in their soil. Real growth comes from methods that work over time, not just short-term fixes, and using cardboard correctly is one of the simplest, most effective ways to achieve that.